It's the real estate show. We've come to sell DR.
Am I still on? Clayton Gush is in the house. AJ will be along soon. DJ Blade might even get in. If you want to get in, hit me up with a DM and I'll get you in. Buckle up and welcome aboard.
Hey there.
Said to my guest, I'm like, no matter what I say, before I say, Clayton, how are you? Keep your mute on your microphone. And you know what? My favorite part of the show is when my guests trample over my super gay intro. It's a radio style intro, but if I don't do
It's the Jim Fanning Show.
I'm all messed up. What you're looking at is a painting that I bought on the beach. I was broke on the beach, and this kid named Jimmy, I call him a kid. He's probably 30, 35 years old. I'm not sure. Says, yo, amigo. He speaks good English, Spanish, Creole, French, everything. I'm like, dude, I like it. This is the full shot here. I don't like art. I'm not an artistic kind of guy. I'm never drawn to anything. I never felt myself like go, I'm going to buy that and put it in my apartment. But I like this one. So he says, dude, look, I'm getting evicted. I'm like, yeah, I know. So am I. He goes, no, seriously. He brought the paperwork back to show me. I'm like, dude, I believe you. You look like you're a good soul. And I go, listen, I got 500 pesos. And I'll give it to you right now. How much you usually get for that? By the way, Clayton, you're on camera now. You're being live streamed. And he said 2,000 pesos, $40. I'm like, okay. Here's 500. I'll see you next Friday when I get paid. Come to my office. Here's my card. And in the meantime, I want you to tell everyone about Jimmy Fannin. I need to sell a house, dude. So he did. And he came. He was on time for his money. And he was late the first time I went to meet him for the money. I'm like, dude, I came to pay you. No, actually, I came to tell him I didn't have the money, but he didn't show up. So I said, okay, listen, next Friday, same time, my office. So you remember he came in at Viva, and nice kid, Jimmy, and that's the painting he made. And he came back and he got his extra not extra, he got the remaining 1,500. And then he sent me a message. I got deported. My 2 kids are back in DR, and like I'm in Haiti. I'm hurting. You got anything? I'm like, no, I don't, and I won't for a little while. But as it turns out, I'm okay now. I'm sending him some cash. I don't know where he's at. I'm not encouraging him to come back here illegally. He should do it legally. But Thanks for the time. Anyways, I know you came on with short notice. AJ's running late. He'll be here anytime now, probably 10 minutes. But talk to me about, you're from San Francisco. We've done some shows before. Clayton Gush is the owner of Viva. Broker owner, as we call them in North America. And I say North America, but we're technically in North America, right? Still?
Yeah. Yeah.
And can we stop going with daylight savings time wherever they apply that? Because it screws the whole planet up. It doesn't just screw the people that live in the zones where they observe DST, right. But even for me, it screws me up because I had to get up an hour early today to be on a call with my 6 o'clock, I'll say it, prayer group.
Wow.
It's working.
Well, they keep talking about it. I'm not sure what I think it's an American-Canadian thing. I don't think it has anything to do with down here. I think.
No, it still affects us because everything's Eastern Standard Time. So anyways, talk to us about the adjustment that you made coming down here. You left everything behind. Wow. You are such a great story about, like, you've been in multiple businesses. You're what Andy would call a serial entrepreneur. You know?
Yeah, I would call myself that too.
And now you're a fucking real estate broker. You got a good little gig going in the center of Cabarete, minutes, and I mean steps from the beach, where all kinds of people walk by because they're going to Joe's at Gordito's. And by the way, Joe makes a good pizza too.
Yeah.
At Seahorse Ranch. But get this.
Yeah.
I went to Seahorse Ranch for lunch today. Guess who didn't get past the gate on their bike?
Oh, yeah, they don't want motos there.
No, I can walk. I can park the bike and walk to the restaurant 2 kilometers.
Well, you could have a pizza then. Work it off.
I was pissed. So then I'm like, okay, I figured, here, I'm going to live stream from, what do they call the restaurant now? What's the club at Seahorse Ranch?
Ocean Club at
right.
Seahorse Ranch?
Yeah. I figure I'll just put the camera up and I'll just film the crashing waves while I have a pizza.
Well, yeah.
So then I went to Sosua. They put a table on the beach for me so I figured I'd get some fish. And then they didn't come back for a half an hour. So I got dressed and left. I'm starving.
Caribbean problems.
I came home and ate. I'm like, oh, I was really hungry there. And I'm like, why am I so bitchy when I'm hungry? But anyways, I'm taking up all the time. This is called stalling for time. Tell us a little bit about your journey. You left everything. You came down here, and give some of the soon-to-be expats some hope. Like, there's not, for me, I've never experienced opportunity like down here. Now, if you're a laborer, maybe not so much. If you tend bar, you're not making $400 a night like you would in San Francisco or in my town in Niagara. But, you know, just talk to us a little bit about your decision to come down here and the culture shock. And I'm going to put you on full screen. If I go away, don't worry. It's nobody else is seeing it.
All right. No worries. All right. Should I go?
That's a lie. Yeah, just go. It's all good.
All right. Okay. I came down here in 2012 and came down here with my whole family, my now ex-wife and my kids, 3 daughters. And I had a factory in San Francisco. We manufactured everything from scuba accessories to tactical gear. We sold gunslings to the Marine Corps and to LAPD, sold pet products, which is really my favorite business, dog leashes and collars. And pretty much so I could be with my kids and not lose everything that mattered to me. I sold my company and came down here kind of kicking and screaming. But, you know, my wife at the time kind of said something to me that made a lot of sense. She says, you know, everybody always says I'm going to work. And when I retire, I'm going to move down to a little island in the Caribbean. And, you know, what are we waiting for? It's like, so that kind of resonated with me. So I was, we came down and marriage didn't last too long, but I won custody of the kids and decided, hey, I'm here. And let's stick it out and make it work. So
Your kids, by the way,
Yeah,
are
so-
so cool. I asked Annie a few weeks ago, or probably a few months ago now. She was walking out, and she's got swagger, you know. She's strutting out of the office. Well, she's 19 or something, right? And I go,
Yeah, she'll be taking over the world pretty soon. Both
yeah,
of them.
and I'm like, what's it like to be so cool? And she, like, I've never seen Annie blush, but if there was a time that she should have blushed, it would have been then. But she's like, she took it in stride. Awesome kids.
Yeah. Yeah, I know they all are. My older daughter, Sky, she's back home now. Made me a grandfather, which wasn't quite ready for, but she
Well,
seems to be ready for it.
I object to your back home because, like, if I book a trip back home,
No,
when
you're
I
right.
leave for
Yeah.
Dominican's going to be, I'm going home now. Like,
Yeah.
I hear
No, I agree.
the sentimental. Back
This is home. This is home. I mean, I'm not turning my passport in or anything, but this is definitely home. I think I'm a lifer here. I've really grown accustomed to living here and life here, and I don't see going back to the proverbial rat race in the U.S.
And the inflation. I mean, it's $5 a gallon down here. It's been $5 a gallon for a year and a half since I've been here. That's significant cost, but it's subsidized also, so that the locals don't get carved. And I get it. Dominican is very, I guess, socialist from a government standpoint. They really feel like they want to take care of everyone. There's no like, people are not poor here. They live on very little, and they make do with very little resources, but they don't need to heat their homes or pay $400 electricity bills. Like, talk to us a little bit about the culture and the economy, as far as, like, we don't see drug addicts walking around the street like we do back home. Fentanyl, opioids aren't a problem here. And you know what I love best about this place is that I know that these guys that are standing on the corner when I'm walking by them in the morning mostly don't know each other. Their arms around each other, laughing and busting balls. And I'm going, everyone's just so happy. I mean, they're so happy to help, obviously. They don't always have their hand out, but the culture is like, everyone still loves each other down here, man. I love it.
No, it's a very friendly environment, and I think the social problems here are not as excessive as people would think otherwise. I think there is there's an upper crust with a lot of money down here, and I think there's a very much emerging middle class, which is very good for society as we know, and I think that when I hear poor Dominicans, I think it's perspective, Yeah, I always felt like, I mean, if I came down here penniless and had to survive, I mean, pretty much food falls off trees, and you're not going to freeze to death, and you can survive down here. So
yeah, AJ is in the house. Brother,
hey
see
guys, how you doing?
Oh, the speaker!
Clayton,
Look at
Jim.
you! Look at
How are
that!
It's a party.
It's all good, brother.
Yeah.
I was.
Look at us, we're matching, Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Here's the thing, man. Summer is coming, and it's hot.
You could feel it. You could feel it today for sure.
Oh, dude, it's coming. I'm still enjoying 66 at night, but dude, like my first local today said mucho color. I'm like, oh, mucho frío. Let's see if we can get a gallery. Oh, look, we got the three boys up now. Okay, perfect. That's what I'm looking for. So yeah, AJ, welcome aboard. Thank you for. I said it today. I have a very difficult time. I'm a direct communicator. Okay, there's no sugarcoating. And I take words very literal, in the end. But everything, I appreciate you saying, hey, bro, I can't make it. Can we push this back? And I'm like, well, yeah, we can push it back, but it really puts a fucking burn my and you know what happened? I had technical issues, mostly because I'm an idiot, and some that were like forced by Bill Gates probably. And I spent a half an hour trying to get Clayton just my shit working. So I used the time well. But we all met this morning for a breakfast meeting, which we have every Tuesday morning at 10 o'clock at Viva, steps from the beach in beautiful Cabarete. And I like what's going on there, man. I like the fact that, and I told Clayton before we went live, I'm like, you know, AJ's, he just pours the accolades on. But I'm like, yeah, I work for Viva. Clayton's a good guy, but I'm not going to compliment you all show. So we're going to talk about shit, you know what I mean? But that's just AJ's nature, right? So we had a breakfast meeting today. We have them every Tuesday at 10 o'clock in the morning. I love that. I love what you're bringing to the table, AJ. I love that we got some rookies that are bright-eyed and hungry. And then we're looking for seasoned veterans as well. They're doing some transactions because you're a new brokerage. I think we're coming up on a year, though, since you've had the space, right? Because I think I've been with you almost a year.
June will be the year.
Okay. I mean, maybe June we should shoot for the grand opening or 1 year.
Yeah, maybe. The grand opening party we never had.
No, I mean, grand openings don't happen the day you open the door because it was just you and me sitting there for months with no internet. I think we ordered a pizza
for the grand opening. So.
Yeah. Anyways, welcome aboard, my brother. Good to see your face. I hope everything's good with the lady. We were just talking about a little bit about the culture. We came in, you know, this kid, I bought this. I'm going to send him some money, definitely. And if somebody wants to bone up, send me a little cash. Nobody sends me cash to, what's the cash app? PayPal. No one sends me cash, so you don't even have to say this is for Jimmy, the artist in Haiti. Just send me 10, 5, 10, whatever bucks. If, I'm going to send him a couple $100 because he's a good kid and he got deported. He's got 2 kids back here in DR. And I'm not saying that he should come back illegally. You should immigrate legally. I'm all about legal immigration. But for the meantime, if it gets him some food down in Haiti, things are rough. He can't work. Up here he was working. He sold me this painting from on the beach. He's a good kid, man. I say kid. He's probably 30 years old, but he's got a couple of kids here that he got deported, and my heart breaks for the kid, man. He's a good boy, you know? He speaks my language, which goes a long way. I like him as much as I like Dibs. So if you want to shoot some money over, use the PayPal link. AJ, what do you got, man? How you feeling? How'd you like the breakfast meeting?
It's an absolute pleasure again, Jim. You're right, man. I am the new kid in town, and I'm excited, and you know, I'm adapting to the culture. But one thing I have to admit, guys, you guys got to teach me a little bit about how traffic works around here, how Dominican time works around here, so I don't get caught up and have Jim Fannin get up my neck. But you know what? I showed up, like I said I would, and that's what about being a team is all about. You know what I'm saying? Where one fall, the other pick the other up. So I've always been in a team environment. I don't kiss no one's ass, but I will give you the merit you deserve. And at the same time, if I see the effort being made, I would definitely give you the accolade and respect until it's not there anymore. But, you know, it's a great thing, man.
I'm getting some fire from AJ tonight. That's nice.
No, you know,
I haven't seen the fire yet.
I'm from Miami. I'm a city boy. You know, I'm from the island. I had to swim my way to America. So it wasn't an easy trip. And to survive and maintain it definitely doesn't mean, you know, it was easy. So, you know, awesome. I know what it means to go through hardship. I know poverty. I know how it feels to have zero, nothing, sleep on the floor, have parents, you know, dookie in an odd house, where now we have pools in 4 or 5 bathrooms. So I know hardship, so I don't take that for granted. So anywhere I go, when I decide to put my face into something, it's not just me, it's my family, it's my legacy, it's my sons, it's my daughters. So nice. It's my everything. So I pour my heart out. You know, that's my spirit.
Clayton,
and
maybe
I think
this is Sorry, this is a good segue. Clayton, tell us about your B12 journey and how, because I've had AJ on a couple times. We've done the whole, I didn't, like, I told him, like, when I'm doing interviews, it's hard to listen to what I missed the part about him losing over 100 pounds and the death thing. But now he's in the B12 business and you're a victim of his product. So tell us what you're experiencing with these shots. And are you injecting yourself in the ass with the B12 shots now?
I am. Yeah. I'm not at all needle phobic. That's not an issue for me. Actually, the very first time I did it, I like kind of reached around. And I thought I bent the needle because I didn't even feel it go in. I was like, oh, and I'm like, oh, okay. There it is. And
there's a joke there. Yeah. There's a wicked joke there. I'm not the needle, and I didn't even feel it going on.
Yeah.
No, but tell us the results. What are you feeling?
I'm really feeling it.
How long?
Feeling a lot of. I'm sorry, what?
How long you been on them?
Couple months now, 2 months.
Weekly shots?
Like yeah. So actually, I'm looking to. I need to kind of step it up, I think, a little bit, but I'm feeling much better. I mean, I was had COVID, gained a bunch of weight, just really was not feeling good, and tired, stressed, all that, and everything that Andy said was going to happen has happened, and I've got a lot. I've got a lot of energy.
Stroke part. You had a mini stroke.
I had a stroke. I had a TIA, trans ischemic shock stroke or stroke, and it was because I went off my blood pressure medicine thinking that I could, and apparently you can't. And so I was fortunate that I didn't have any, no side effects like speech pathology or anything like that. So. But made me aware of the impending and immediate need to take care of myself, lose some weight.
What else you been feeling from the B12?
I'm sorry, what?
What else you been feeling from the B12? Did you feel anything immediately first couple of weeks? And what's the long, now that you're a few months in? I think it's been a few months now. What are you feeling?
Well, there's a detox tea. I'm definitely not going into the details there, but that's the nasty phase of the process, and then just having more energy. I mean, I think my I think my natural rhythm is go to bed early, get up early. But when I wake up in the morning, I feel good. I'm ready to go. My brain's working. I've got energy, and I go all day. And I've just been active. I've never been this active in real estate before, so it's nice to have the energy for that. I highly recommend it.
When you said the other day, dude, I haven't eaten lunch yet, and it was 5 o'clock or something. I'm like, I told you. The first thing to go is food. When you get busy in real estate, the first thing you do is punish yourself by not eating because you're too busy. You're from your appointment to appointment to appointment, and then somebody takes you long, and your lunch is canceled and whatever. So, it's the first thing to go. And then when your blood sugar crashes, you're not friendly.
For sure. Yeah, I used to have people tell me, oh, I'm too busy. I don't have time for this. And I used to kind of think, oh, that's bullshit. Nobody's that busy. I have some friends, associate, people are like, Clayton, we don't hang out anymore. We don't, I'm literally that busy. I just, I'm booked, from the morning to the evening doing this, that, taking people around, going to listings, working with clients. And, so free time is definitely, not so much available as it used to be. I think people are used to me that had a whole bunch of free time and nothing to do and could just hang out and do nothing, and I don't have that anymore.
AJ, how are you feeling? Okay. How are you adjusting, AJ, as far as you're born in the Bahamas, spent a lot of time in the States, and now you're down here, and so you've got a better idea. Like, I had no culture in North America. unless white is a culture. I mean, you know, and so I really enjoyed my Colombian best friend in high school, because when I went to his house, it was all Spanish, and they had code, and the guests sat at the head of the table, got the choice slices of meat. Like, I'm a manja cake. Like, I literally grew up with Italian. My best friends were Italians, and even their culture was kind of frustrating, because every Christmas they had Easter they got big gold chains and big presents. I'm like, dude, I'm getting chocolate for Easter. This sucks, you know? So I was cultureless growing up in a really homogenous white North End, St. Catharines. You know, you're from the island, spent a lot of time in the States, and now you're down here. So talk to us a little bit about your experience with the culture and how you're mixing it in and adjusting. Like, I'm just overwhelmed almost. I can't believe the amount of love that's down here. And I talk about North America, like Canada and the US. It's like people are looking at their feet all the time. They don't say hello. You can't walk by a native down here, and I force hello everywhere. Even in Canada, I said hello to everyone I walked past, on the beach, on the street, doing my walk, whatever. You just say hello. Down here, it's like, you know, when someone doesn't say hello back, you're like, what the hell? Where am I? So talk to us about your experience culturally anyways, because you've experienced a lot more than I have anyway.
Well, I would say being from the islands, I mean, one of the things that was embedded in us being an island, because I would say my early teenagehood, I was in the Bahamas, is that they embed hospitality in our brains early, because our economy is actually based on touristic. So hospitality, you're always expecting to receive foreigners from all over the world. I was part of the building process of the Great Atlantis in Paradise Island in the Bahamas. I think I might have laid a few bricks there. So, it's always been in our nature. So what tends to happen is when you're from the islands, right, you're like any little kid on the island, getting coconuts and fishing. You're looking at the tube and you're like, oh my God, America is great. This shiny object, you go and you make it there and you're like, man, it is great, but it comes with a lot of responsibilities, right? A lot of responsibilities. Some of it can be overwhelming, but so now you look back and you're like, oh my God, that coconut tree I didn't care about when I was back there is a big deal now, because you don't have that over there, right? So walking to the beach is like, it's just sunny for us, and this sunny day, this salty water, like, it just sucks. And now when you can't find it, or you don't get it at that caliber, at that level, now you seek it, and I see others pay a lot for it. So yes, I would say in terms of the climate, I love it. I love the I've never been I would say my wife is from Boston, so she's used to snow, right? The first time I spent Christmas with her family in Boston, I hated it, man. I hated it, man. I'm telling you, it was the worst. It was below zero. I didn't know what terms like blizzard meant. I know it was just an ice cream. I mean, there's all these, like terms I would hear on video games, like hypersonic winds. I'm like, what's going on? And this year was probably its worst, and probably in decades, up on the, I would say, with the northeast of the Americas. It was terrible.
Right.
So I would say being here, getting acclimated with the weather, the people, like you said, Jim, the people here are extremely nice, very friendly. That same hospitality that I was accustomed to. Good morning, good evening, good night, welcome. You hear that, and you see the servitude in the people everywhere across the board. From the moment you get into the airport, your taxi driver, he's elated to take you everywhere else, everywhere. Of course, he's going to hit you up with a nice bill, right?
Yeah.
But he is excited to take you to town, to see the local vendors,
hook you up with all his connections, everything. Yeah,
absolutely. So it's been pretty good. It's been working well. I love it. I love it. But there are some things I will say that I'm adjusting to. That's all.
Definitely, especially the economic climate. If you're talking about real estate, I looked at a reno at a buddy of mine's place the other day. I'm like, bro, how much did it cost you to change these stairs? The stairs went down like this, and what he did is he made the stairs go like this, and then he put a door here through a solid concrete wall on a penthouse condo, And I'm standing in front of it. I'm talking to him. I'm like, how much does this cost you? Because I saw him do it. It took him about 3 weeks. I go, 10 G's? He goes, Jimmy, 10. 3. They changed the set. They used all the original railings and the original tiles. Everything was straight. 3 weeks is an average time to do a big job like that, but they cut a hole in a 8-inch, 12-inch concrete wall and put a door in it and made it all look presentable, and it was $3,000.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot get used to the labor costs down here.
I run into that a lot when I'm showing houses where people might say, "Oh, I hate the tile in this bathroom" or something, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, no big deal. You can just change that." And I can see the look on their face, like, "Oh yeah, what, $40,000?"
Yeah.
Like, no, like $1,000,
fifth of that.
Yeah, to completely renovate the bathroom. And no way. Yeah, no way. That's true.
And you know what? I know we've got a bunch of good contractors. Number one, that Perla Marina contractor that Marina's hooked up with. He talked about he's a contractor from the States, and even Richard, he's got one of the best deals in Casa Linda right now. Now, okay, this is a little bit out of school, but there's no agency. I don't even have an agreement with Richard. He likes me though, still. Right?
Yeah.
And last week his price was $400 to him. Now everyone, and I told you today, dude, when we make some adjustments on the on the website, it's not $550 anymore, it's $450. But $450 includes a handsome commission. And I said, Richard, listen, I want to buy your business because he's going to sell a lot of commercial property in Georgia. Mm-hmm. And he's going to buy condos in Dominican Republic. And I said, if I got to sell your house for 0 commission to buy your loyalty for the rest of your real estate days, I'll do it. And he says, if you sell my property for nothing at $400, you will be my real estate. And that's kind of the kiss of death. I've been in real estate a long time. When people say to you, when I buy a house, you're my guy, you can kiss them goodbye. You'll never see them again. Trust me on that one. But we talk about agency down here and the lack of it.
Yeah.
There's no exclusive agreements. And, I kind of pitched in the breakfast meeting this morning when your clients came in. I'm like, exclusive agreements are important. I want to take care of you from cradle to grave, business-wise, right? From the day we sign the listing, I want to be your only guy. Now, we might have another agent that comes in, but we kick them out when we talk about private things. You don't need to get to know 10 different realtors, so the lack of exclusivity down here is strange because I come from a world where you sign with me, I'm your agent.
Yeah.
Just like a sports agent, just like a lawyer. And if you tell me I got cancer and I need to be out of here in 6 months, no one gets to hear that. No one needs to know that you're under pressure to sell, so...
Well, I took a page out of your playbook and a couple months ago, and I signed up an exclusive contract with someone. And I told him, I said, look, if I have to co-broke, I'll do it for 8%. If I sell it on my own, I'll do it for 6%. So we had the exclusive. We did our first open house with that one, which allowed us to invite every other agent that we know, which is a lot of them. I think we had about 50 people show up, at 40% of them agents, and sold the house in less than 2 weeks, and those people also bought a house from me pretty much across the street. So it was a good one.
And no one does what we would call like an agent open house, like an MLS open house where, I mean, you can bring your clients and someone could walk in off the street, but that's non-existent down here. They don't do those.
It only works if you have that exclusive, because otherwise, unless you like just buying people pizza and beer and, so.
Listen, I'm going to spend $400 on like a big agent open house is going to promote your property, but if another agent sells it, don't worry about it. I'll eat it. It's no problem.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So. Yeah, we got another one coming up Thursday. I'm excited about.
That's good. I want to throw something in there too,
Good.
Clayton. In terms of the culture, and I have to admit to you, I like the fact that there is an existence for co-brokering, right?
Right.
And the way the system is set up here.
Yeah.
And also I'm using my own experience from the U.S. market, like how, because I came from the money part, the mortgage side, right? I dealt with the financing.
Right.
I got to see basically the ugly truth, right? Before they even actually went out there and see Jim or see Clayton, because I'm not sure over here, but in the States, of course, you have to come with a pre-approval. You have to show how much money you're approved for, and maybe already have some pre-terms that's with that financing agency. But here, you could just absolutely, hire a broker and just go around and look with someone. And how do you pre-qualify a buyer? How do you know that buyer is ready to buy? I mean, do you just assume based on them saying, "Hey, I'm ready to buy. I'm from the States"? What is a pre-qualifier here?
Well, let me interject before Clayton.
Go ahead.
Before Clayton answers this question, I'm just going to say one. Okay, let me put me back to gallery. Say, no, you don't need to see me. I'll be like the voice of God. Number one, before you take your client, here's the best qualified. Now, we're not taking anyone out that's not qualified. They're either cash or they got their finances arranged. But here's the script. I hate that word, script. Okay, so we're going out. We're going to see 6 properties today. If you like one of them, are you willing to make an offer on them? And then you don't say a word until they answer fully and completely, and you shut up until they're done. Until they've told you everything about their situation, because you need to know about their situation.
That's right.
And then the next question is, if they say yes, the next instruction, not question, is, okay, so we have 6 properties. If you like the second one and you want to buy it, we cancel the next 4 and we go back to the office and we do the contract. that's the
right.
best qualifying, man. There's no fucking around.
Right.
Listen, are you ready to buy? Yes. Well, just so you know, if we find something you love, we stop and we go and we buy it, period. So you were going to say, Clayton?
Is that your experience too, Clayton?
No. But I've been in sales a long time, and I'm going to go with I'm the king of the soft sell. Sometimes you got to go with what works for you. And I figured out my number. It's 1 in 20. So if I do 20. But listen, I'm doing 5 a week, so that means 1 sale a month.
Easy, braggadocious, man. 5. You're doing 5 deals a week?
I'm showing 5 times a week. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. I'm not doing 5 deals. I'm taking clients 5 times a week. So
okay, that's good. So you should get 1 out of 5 then, maybe.
No, I get 1 out of 20. So
1 out of 20. Yeah, that's more like it.
Yeah. So
1 out of 100 leads that comes in.
Right.
1 out of 20.
I also, in a way, my philosophy about it is that, I think about myself being in buying shoes, and you can't just say, okay, yeah, I definitely want to buy Casa Linda, or I definitely want to buy in Seahorse Ranch, or I definitely want to buy in, I feel like it's almost important that the buyer, sees sort of the different micro communities that exist here, and get a feel for where they really fit in, and really what they're, what's their goal. Are they trying to get an investment property? We definitely know where to go there. Or are they trying to buy a house they want to live in? Then that's a different story. And I'm not saying I have all the answers, because I know I don't, but
what the best,
and I'm learning.
So basically you're saying those would be the pre-qualifiers, right? You want to have your pre-qualifiers, like Clayton said, in terms of to absolutely pinpoint what it is they're looking for.
Right.
Jim is saying, listen, once we've reached this point, before we even waste time, right? Because over here, time is money. And, we have to make sure that we have a qualifying buyer.
Bro, let me adjust your attitude a little bit there, okay? Because time is not money, and here's why, okay? From a resigned and cynical 30-year North American realtor that used to live by the montage, by the mantra. Thank you. That time is money. Here's why it's not, and here's how adjusting that worldview will better your life. When time is money, oh shit, what did I do here? That's fine. When time is money, when you're at the grocery store, back in Canada, my frustration was going to the corner store, which we called the store. And you can't buy beer and food in it, but down here you call it a Clamato. But my frustration, where they sold tobacco and lottery tickets, you had some guys that want to get in and get a pack of smokes, but they got three people in front of them who are going, can I get a cash for life, a 649, a Powerball, and no, two cash for life, four, and I'm going out of my mind because time is money. When we used to write contracts with multiple carbon copies, press hard, cheap carbon.
Yikes.
Press hard, cheap carbon, man. That's
before
close. That
fax.
that is the closiest thing you can ever say to a prospect that's just about to sign. Press hard, it's cheap carbon. Anyway, that's funny. I can't. Where was I going? What were we talking about?
Time is
Money, right?
Time is money.
And then I would make my signature like this. It's like up and down and scribble back and forth. Because I used to do a Jim Fannin, and I can still do it with the whole, but it takes too long. And when you're signing 50 copies, you're signing 6 copies back where I was from. Back in the old days, it was multiple copies. But when you had to, and where I come from, if you don't deliver a true copy on acceptance, the contract's null and void. We put a seal in North America on the contract because that whole idea of signing under seal is still, it forms part of consideration. Consideration is not the deposit. The deposit forms good faith. The consideration is the price, and that's why you sell it for $1. You don't give it for free because you can't have a legal contract that's free. You have to charge something. There needs to be consideration. So the consideration is the $1, and the property is the property, and you trade $1 for a property. That's the consideration. But down here, that none of those rules apply. Like, you don't need a witness. What we do, our offer is like 2 paragraphs. It's 1 page. We get the buyer to sign it. We get his passport number. We get the seller's passport number. Then we send it to the lawyer, and the lawyer does everything. And then we actually show up on closing. I've never been to a closing in North America. Dude, I've been to every closing. I've been to not only the closing, but I've been to the pre-closing when we go and we say, okay, well, here's the deal and blah, blah, blah. So anyways, I'm rambling now, but it's so different down here, man. It's the Wild West where anything goes, but you know what? I'm solid with Guido Perdomo. If one thing you need a good lawyer, and that guy is returning my phone calls on the weekends, not phone calls, email. I haven't dealt with Guillermo yet. I know his kid it's a family business. He's a local guy. He's locally invested. The dude is flawless so far.
Guillermo's a superstar too. I mean, he's the heir apparent, I think, to the whole operation. And Guillermo's not a total kid. I think he's 30 or 35, something like that. And I like dealing with them. I'd say, just like you said, if I've got a question, I send it out 11 o'clock at night. I wake up in the morning, I've got an answer in my inbox. So they're really, and everyone has their favorite lawyer, but I'm going to go with the Perdomos for me. So,
well, walk me through the process, guys. I understand it's easy to say, they're taking care of the closing, but what is a buyer expecting, right? Outside of the 2-page contract, really good, fast and easy way of closing.
AJ,
But what to expect in terms of time?
You know what? It's so easy, man. It's so easy. Let me give you, man, thank you for that question because this conversation flows very well. You can expect to make a very simple offer with your agent, which could be anyone down here. And I say that with pros and cons because if you're coming from Canada or the United States, you can start tomorrow at Viva if we like your jib and we have a good mix and you bring something to the table tomorrow. You fly down, you're working tomorrow. No agency, no regulation, nothing. You're working tomorrow. And you can work with, oh, I've got a little experience. You've been here a long time, Clayton. If there's one thing I always say about you, tell me, I've never seen one person say anything bad about Clayton Gush. He's a good guy. Everyone loves him. Everyone doesn't love Jimmy Fannett. I'm like a little different, right? But as far as like the opportunity down here is crazy. So here's back to the question. You write a very simple offer with your agent.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
The agent doesn't need to even have a listing agreement or an agency agreement. There's no agency agreement, but a listing, they don't need to have a contract with the seller. You write an offer that says, we offer this price, we close it on this date, here's my information, and here's 10% down. So that's number one. 10% non-refundable deposit when we're talking about cash deals that are not conditional. If you got a due diligence clause in there, they're very rare down here because everyone pays cash. Get your shit together. There's no financing clause. There's no inspection clause. You can get them, but they're uncommon. But if you write a cash offer and you put 10% down and you walk, you lose it. It's non-refundable. And I tell people, listen, just so you know, you sign this contract, this deposit that you're going to put in the bank tomorrow in Guido's trust account, you lose it if you walk away. And then from there,
tell me also, Jim, about the power of attorney, because you're telling me a situation where you actually jump on the plane and come here.
Yeah.
Now, what I am noticing is
you don't even need to come here.
In my circle, I've had some friends now who own companies, and they're starting to open up satellite office, right? They're calling themselves digital nomads, right? So, and the owner doesn't want to come down. I mean, what would be that process? Can it happen?
Okay,
and
so
how fast or easy can that happen?
Great question. I'm glad you asked that. So Guido will not deal with manufactured facsimiles. He needs an original contract that's signed by the buyer. So you got a buyer in the States. He's like, Jimmy, I want to buy this now. I put him in touch with Guido. Guido gets an originally signed couriered copy of his power of attorney. And then a lawyer in Guido's office, not Guido himself, because that's a conflict. You can't be power of attorney and close a deal, even down here. That's funny because down here, dual agency is fine. A lawyer can close both ends of the deal with no problem. In North America, it's a little bit of an issue. So you can courier an original copy of a power of attorney and give a lawyer in Guido's office the power to close anything you want without seeing it. As long as the funds are there, it closes. And here's the cool part. So this is you know what? God, thank you, right? Because I've been looking for a way to bring God in. Trust me, there's very little God in my broadcasts. Even the Dominican Republic broadcasts, right? And I'm a failing Christian, but I have faith. And on Thursday, I meet a kid at the pool. A friend facilitates it. Says, well, you should talk to Jimmy if you want to buy. He goes, okay. And I was on one of my I hate humans days. But I took the time and I got his WhatsApp number and I texted him. I go, that's that. And I got a condo over here at 75 G's. I'll show it to you now if you want. And then I couldn't get access till the next day. And the next day I showed it to him. That was Friday. Saturday we wrote the offer, a 2-page offer, a Viva contract. Got everything down. Monday we went to see Guido. Shit. The Guido's got all the contracts. I'm sending them as we're going. And the kid says, no, I'm just going to pay in full. I go, no, don't pay in full. Like, you need, he says, no. I said, no, you need to make the deposit now from here. Wednesday he left the island, but on Monday we signed a POA with Guido. Well, not Guido, but a lawyer in Guido's office, so that he could close in absenteeism.
Well, another thing I want to throw at you. I know I'm sorry. Because I know I came in a little bit towards the end, so I'm trying to squeeze in my questions here because I have viewers and people who are very much interested and curious. Now, tell us a little bit about transferring funds. For example, most people understand. Okay, you're dealing with international money. Of course, regulatory purposes in the United States, for example, my software, I deal with taxes, right? So one of the questions on the 1040 or an 1120 is, do you have a foreign account? Do you have a business outside the country? So legally, technically, you have to report. So in this particular situation, how do you not, if you are a foreigner, not put yourself in any tax issues or liabilities, or is it a tax haven for sure?
Great question, man. This is why I love you. First of all, I can't speak to any tax rules in the States. I know nothing about that shit. So I'll go back to this example of an anonymous buyer that I met on Thursday at the pool that will close on the 20th. Okay, we were trying to figure out how long this took. It's less than 3 weeks. Okay, so I meet him on Thursday. We sign on Saturday. He leaves on Wednesday. We meet the lawyer on Monday. He leaves on Wednesday, and he's confident. And he goes home. He's like, no. I'm like, no, dude, you need to. So he gets the 10% in. He took it partially from PayPal and another like Cash App or some shit that he's got a lot of money in. And he was able to move. Every app or bank has a limit on how much you can move and whatever. So he sent $3,500 here from PayPal to Guido's account in Miami, Florida. It's an American trust account, and this is most important. Yeah. The Dominican lawyer's trust account is in Miami, Florida, and it's secure. And if you gave him $1 million and you came back 10 years from now, it'd still be there. Now, you probably wouldn't make any interest, but it'd still be there because Guido would still be there. That's how reliable this dude is. The other thing he's reliable about is title search. That's why we use this guy. Now, there's other good lawyers on the island and some Guzman. I know a lot of people, but we know there's some lawyers that just don't, do the right thing all the time or honor their commitments, right? So he got his 10% in, which is $7,000. He did a PayPal transfer to Guido's account. Then he did a Zillow or whatever Cash App transfer for another $3,500. And then, dude, the kid, this is a 28-year-old kid. He's not a kid. And he even said to me, you know what? Some people are going to think I jumped without thinking. But why would I invest in Minnesota? My purchase is not going to return anything there. And 2 days ago, he went into the Bank of America with a check for the balance. Right? So $75,000 purchase. This is a nice condo right here. Cheap fees, $162.50 a month. That's it. Plus hydro and internet. He says, you should have seen the look on the teller's face at Bank of America when I handed her the check. A cashier's check, like a bank check for, I don't know, $60,000, right? So Guido sends me an email today saying, because he keeps me up, we're on a thread, reply all. funds received, complete.
Right.
We're ready to close. So now instead of being the 30th, it closes Monday, the 20th, 10 days early, and he makes the money that the tenants that are already in there paying $500 a month or whatever, he'll get rent for the 10 days that he closes early. It's unbelievable. So I can say that, one thing, we've got a solid lawyer. Two, having a trust account on American soil is hugely important, because in the final, after the closing, the proceeds get wired to the island, and because Guido is Guido, there's no problem. And I'm talking, I can't imagine how many hundreds of thousands of dollars per transaction, multiple transactions go on per day there, and there's no problem. There's so much foreign investment. They really, what do you say, promote it.
Let me add something to that too. Another brokerage has an agent, and she's doing videos, and we see all the feeds on Facebook, and one thing that she talked about that I thought was really interesting was that she's like, why would you buy an apartment in New York that might cost you $1.5 million, $2.5 million, $2.5 million, when you could buy a $300,000 or $400,000 apartment down here, and you could get $10 per room per night, and actually the revenue on something like that was pretty similar to what you'd be getting rent wise, and down here you'd be getting like a 70% occupancy in some cases. So I really thought that was interesting.
Yeah, thanks for highlighting that too, Clayton. That's probably would have been my segue as well, because that's kind of like the conversation we're getting, right? We move here, it's paradise, but we still have a life back home. So in essence, it's going to be your part-time. So what would be the substitute, right, for the time that they're not here?
Right.
Tell us a little bit about how Viva at least has been approaching the buyer that's coming here to live versus the one that does come here to live, and also just use you as a second home. What is this? What are we coming up with? I mean,
you can still in the $200,000 to $300,000 range buy a pretty nice 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, either villa or condo down here. You can of course go higher. You can Seahorse Ranch, $1 million, $2 million, $5 million. But I think that that it is one of my questions that I usually ask a client is, what do you want it for? Do you want an investment? You're going to come down 2 months out of the year, stay here. What do you want to do with it the rest of the time? You want to, mothball it, or you want to rent it out? And we're getting a lot of people that want that investment that, everyone's making so much money with Airbnb. So there are places like Casa Linda is one of our favorites. Sure, there's always issues with different communities. There's a lot of renters here, but that's actually the good news if you're an investor. There's a lot of renters here. Yeah, and and also, I'm in Casa Linda right now. We got.
I was just gonna say,
crickets.
You say here because you're sitting in Casa Linda. Whoa, look how unpeaceful.
I'm sitting in Casa Linda.
You guys are both in Casa Linda. You're there too now, AJ?
I'm in Casa Linda.
Oh, I'm not moving to Casa Linda. I like my building right here, but I do like Casa Linda a lot.
I got my disco pool in the background here, changing colors. And,
Clayton go all out.
It's around.
I just have really great fluorescent light.
Yeah.
I think it also kills some of the bugs back here, so that makes sense. It's a dual.
Right.
Dual
Yeah.
action.
Well, to finish up your question, I think there's some people that want peace and quiet, and they want to come down. This is a retirement home. We've got places like where we're having our open house on Thursday, Hacienda El Choco. Big lots, 10,000 meter lots. They're like little meadows.
You have to talk in acres or square footage if you're speaking to any from North America. 10,000 meters is a quarter acre. No. 10,000 meters.
No more. 2 acres. 2 acres. Yeah.
Yeah, right. 2 acres.
The 10th.
Yeah,
no,
times 4.
I don't know.
There's 44
times 10.
That's right. There's 44,000 square feet in an acre. I'm not, and the times 10 for the meters. So if it's 100 meters, forget it. Anyways, go on. El Choco. I love El Choco. You know why I love
it worked out with my phone.
4,000 square foot. We can come down to the numbers.
Stupid.
But listen, I just want to throw this out there, guys, because if I don't squeeze these questions in, I have to get off of here and I need to go back to my guys and give them information that they can use right now so they can make
such a
real
slacker.
decisions.
I got to get my questions in because I need to get off the air.
Yeah,
I
no,
got
never,
Clayton out of bed
never.
because
Oh.
you fucking dissed me, and you're telling me you got to leave early? I hate you.
Never. Because what I do, no, listen, check this out. When you're squeezed in, you don't want to leave out because remember, at the end of the day, I carry a hat of an agent. So I have a fiduciary responsibility to get the information from the right sources and make sure I go back and pass on the information, right? Because I am the new kid in town and I'm excited to be that.
Stop saying that.
learn.
You're not the
I
new
know,
kid.
I have to.
Dude,
'Cause,
Dude, you're
it's-
not the new kid. Stop
I
saying
want
that. It's a lie. Stop telling yourself that lie.
Listen,
Unless it makes
I
you
love the
money. I
team.
mean, then
No,
use it
check
all you
this out.
want.
Listen, but you know what it is? It's a little bit of humility too. Most people tend to, come into an environment just like, like the Dominicans. I think we had this conversation last time, Jim, that some folks actually mistreat the very people in which that you're in their soil, right? So, your approach have to be a little bit humble. I think it's been my forte. It doesn't mean I don't crack butt now. It just means that, I approach things in a certain way. But Jim, I want to know this. This is important. The transition, right? The transition. When do you, let's say, for example, once you're fully settled in, you have conveyance and ownership of your property, which means you've occupied your property, right? The thing I'm hearing is that there's no regulation in the areas of utility. There's no regulation in the area of homeowners association. There's no regulation in basically, I would say a lot of utilities, which is being premium by the actual developers and builders. So how do you answer to a newbie, right? That's saying, hey, I heard that I can start off with a $300 HOA, and a year from now I get a letter in the mail saying it's $700.
Great point.
Without.
I will defer to my broker on this because I never. Hey, listen. You know why women make good real estate agents? First of all, it's kind of in their nature. Okay, they're artsy and they like to show their own house off. They like beautiful things. Like women are really good agents in real estate. Women do a lot of things really well that we don't do well. I mean, we as men, right? And the example I use is back where I come from, we have basements, foundations, right? So I go down, not me, but the typical male, stereotypical agent goes down in the basement with the buyer, and the buyer goes, oh, shit, that's a big crack in the foundation there. And the male agent has to fix it, and then he needs to nervous talk and solve the issue right now and tell him that, oh, no, I got a buddy. He digs down on the outside. He pours in this cement that expands, and it's, I don't know, $4,000. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of it. And the buyer goes, fuck you. That's a big crack in the foundation. I don't care that you got a fix for it. You're trying to sell me a house. And then the female agent goes downstairs with the buyer, and the buyer goes, holy shit, that's a big crack in the foundation. And the female agent goes, oh, can you fix it? And the buyer goes, yeah, I got a buddy. He just digs down on the outside, $4,000. It's not a big deal. I mean, and Clayton, I said this to AJ today in the parking lot. I love you, man. You're a good man. You got a good thing going down here. I know that you want the best for the people that deal with you, and that's all I could ask for, right?
Right.
And I told him, what did I tell you, AJ? Where was I going? Shit. I hate when I'm broadcasting and my brain farts. It's not good.
No, we talk a lot of stuff.
No, it's gonna come.
Talk about the clients, the well-being of the clients. You know,
No,
how
you
is it
were asking about
straightforward?
HOA and responsibility.
Yeah, I'm talking about the premiums, the HOA, because
Yeah.
again, it's a scare factor, right? You know, where yes, the cost of living is low, but when I move in here, you know, what is the cost to manage my property,
Right.
more or less? What is
Well,
is the utility with I like this is a big shocker for me. My utility is with the well, like in this case with the developers, right? I guess the development. So you're not going directly to I guess you would say the electrical company.
I've heard this.
even
Sorry to cut you off,
consumer.
AJ, but I've heard this concern before, and I don't know where I was going with that story, but I do have
Yeah.
a style
Well,
that
actually,
derails
if
the
you let me-
conversation, and I started that whole conversation out by saying I'm going to defer, and I talked for 5 minutes, and I don't remember what I was saying, but someone did say to me, especially when I think it was about Casa Linda, and it's like 1 out of 300 that said they can do whatever they want with the rates, but like down here the other day in my building, the rates don't get raised unless it's approved by the AGM. So I don't know the answer to that, and I appreciate your input on it, Clayton, because I know you got at least a little bit more knowledge.
I think you know, after 2 years after a build, an AGM can come into play. But you know, Casa Linda is constantly under construction. You know, I mean, we've got 400.
Recording stopped.
Are we still on? I lost a thing.
Am I still on? Am I still on? That's a great thing to say. Am I still on? Yeah, I think I just filled my disk space, but that's okay. We're broadcasting live, and we have at least 2 viewers, so you should be very nervous.
With my super important thing I'm telling you. Yeah, no. So anyways, yeah, they can change the rates, but I've been in a unique situation where I lived in, say, Perla Marina, and I think probably a lot to do with the actual house. I had a direct contract with the electrical company, and I was paying quite a lot of money. And since I've moved to Casa Linda, I've actually had the cheapest electricity bills that I've had since I've lived in the country in 10 years.
But Casa Linda's 14 pesos per kilowatt. That's higher than just about anybody.
It is higher, but yeah. So I don't know how to account for it. But I mean, I've been here 8 months now, and my bill hasn't been over $230, and that's with 2 daughters running AC all the time.
Well,
you know,
dude,
leaving the lights on, fans on.
I don't know
living
how to
living the same.
I don't know how to explain this, but I was across the road paying 4 cents or something.
Sure.
Excuse me. And then moved across the road, I'm paying 12 cents. I think Casa Linda's 14 pesos, per kilowatt hour. But I had an old fridge at the other place, and I got a pretty much new fridge at this place. And I'm a single guy in a very small apartment with not very many needs. But my hydro went from, well, it was 1,000 pesos across the street at least every month. And now over here with a backup generator and apparently paying 3 times what I was paying across the street, it's still less than 1,000 pesos. $20 a month.
I mean, I think for my family's usage, and I would say we're extreme users of electricity. I would say, yeah, the dog. Yeah. No, I'd say it's quite fair. And you know, in terms of the HOA, I mean, I get clients sometimes they say, "Oh, I don't want an HOA," and I'm thinking like, why would you not want an HOA? Because the places that don't have an HOA, there's no security, there's no community maintenance, there's no bus, there's no backup power, there's no, you know, all the things that you want. You know, since I've been here in Casa Linda, you know, with a couple exceptions, you know, I've had power nonstop. Where when I was in some other places, you know, every Tuesday we had a, you know, 10 o'clock in the morning to 7 o'clock at night blackout of power, you know, and believe me, in summertime when you want to run your fan and your AC, you know, that's a real bummer. You know, I left the house because, you know, no power. So I think that, you know, I'm more in the camp of like, yeah, give me an HOA. If it costs me $300 a month, but I got my security,
But
I got my water,
can you
I got my
speak
electricity.
specifically to the issue of like unilateral control? What if the HOA goes from $425 to $600 in a year or some shit?
Yeah, I think there, you talked about governance. I mean, I don't know if there is, I know there's some oversight rules about when you can form a committee of homeowners. And that's, I think, 2 years after construction, assuming that they step aside from it.
No, Clayton. Specific to, let's use Casa Linda. Apparently, they can do whatever they want with the rates whenever they want. It doesn't need to be approved by a board of directors or residents or anything like that. So, do you have any knowledge on, for the people? And like I say, it's 1 out of 300 that go, hey, listen, I read the Constitution, and they can do whatever they want with the rates, and I can't say shit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I'm going to go with I'm actually going to defer, and why don't we just do another show?
We'll bring Guido on, and Guido can speak to it.
We bring Guido on.
Guido's my next guest. Fam, listen, Guido Perdomo,
let's talk to Steve.
If he is the type of guy that would do this type of thing and be associated with this type of human being right here, man, would that be great? And I know that you've got hopes to bring him into the office for a breakfast meeting. Man, we need 2 hours, and we need that shit catered. Forget the open houses. Yeah, we need to be fed and take care of Guido and make sure that he's got, I don't know, if he drinks rum, he leaves with a nice bottle of rum that day. He's what a sweet human being, like I love being in Guido's presence all the time. He's just, one of those guys. Well, Clayton's got this thing. AJ, not so much, although he's a handsome man. Guido, you look at him and you go, I love this guy. You immediately, he doesn't even need to speak. He's just a beautiful human being. I can't describe it. I love Guido Perdomo, man, and he's been a good.
I think we should make bumper stickers, actually.
Yeah, I love Guido.
Yeah, no, it is a very good question. From a practical standpoint, my experience with the Casa Linda HOA, it's been very good. But in terms of, evil empire potentiality, could they, say, hey, we're going to triple the rates and nobody can do anything about it? I think that's a good question to ask, and let's find out.
Cool.
We could talk. Yeah, we got the people we can ask.
Yeah,
we'll find out.
Steven in again. AJ, what's up?
Yes, sir. Well, thank you. I mean, you definitely answered most of my questions, right? I think we definitely covered, how we're able to move money from point A to point B in the safe and in a way where the Dominican government is okay with that. We're able to close in a matter of days from what I'm hearing.
Okay, so can I interrupt 1 second there? So in my buyer on this specific transaction that we're talking about had limits on how much he could move via wire transfer per week, per month, per day. I'm not sure what it was.
Limits.
Yeah, limits for wire transfers, right? I think he could do, I can't remember what it was.
That's something imposed by his bank, not
that's
on this.
American. Yeah, that's American wire transfer rules, from what I understand. Now, he was moving from Minnesota to Miami, so there shouldn't have been too much, but there was. His bank limited him as far as what he could out transfer per day. So it was easier for him to go to his bank and get a cashier's check and walk into the Bank of America where Guido's account is and say, here's my boy's account, put this in there, and the clerk almost fell over.
Nice. No, that's a great solution. Well, you mentioned Guido has an account in Miami. He also has one in New York too, by the way. Yeah. So Guido's he acts as a depository, even if you're using another attorney to do the close. He
has depositories in the United States. So in essence, if you're doing business with him here, you can have a depository there. So
Right.
he's able to-
And he's got the horsepower to not have to move the money. He's got money here, so he can get the deposit there and deal with it here on this side. So you don't have that sort of money transfer issue.
That's a
he has
really
Western
important-
Union pull.
Shut up. No, that's a really good point, man. He's got
I
the
think that's
cash.
important.
He doesn't need to see the transfer from the USA to the United States. As long as he's got it in his trust account in the States, he can close it with his own money here. That's a great
Right.
point, Clayton.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Well, there's a lull in the conversation. That's a great time for me to play some music and get the hell out of here. How long has this gone? Yeah, how long has this gone? I can't see. My eyes are fried. Oh, at least an hour 15.
Yeah.
Not bad. And we still have 2 viewers across. Listen, let me make myself visible for this. Across 6 platforms. Okay, so listen. This is how irrelevant I am in life. Okay.
Now the algorithm is going to kick in after once we're the algorithm. We're going to tag each other.
Well,
and get
I
it
appreciate your positivity, but no, it won't.
out.
First of all, the best thing I got going for me right now is something I never thought would pay off at all, and I've got 1,800 subs plus on Buying Dominican Republic on YouTube. Buying Dominican Republic at gmail.com comes to me. It's a real estate channel. It's a. Today I broadcast 25 minutes of me waiting in front of what is usually one of my favorite restaurants and then left with being fed, but that's another story. I did a live broadcast. It's just the ocean. So we got Buying Dominican Republic on YouTube. Then the Jim Fannin Show, the latest creation of the Jim Fannin Show, has 40 subs on YouTube. My old True 2 channel is broadcast live here, but it'll never be monetized, so I'm cutting you off, TrueTube. You suck because I can't make money off you, and YouTube sucks balls. And then we have at Buying Dominican on Twitter, which allows me to broadcast live. So we're live on Twitter at Buying Dominican. And then my other Twitter account at Jim Fannin Lives was unable to ever broadcast live, so I'm live right now at Jim Fannin. My original account that was suspended for 2 years lost 7,000 followers and all its reach. Now is getting a little bit more reach because I'm active on it because I got suspended. I'm in a 7-day penalty on Jim Fannin Lives, at Jim Fannin Lives. So we're live on at Buying Dominican, at Jim Fannin, and then at Jim Fannin Live on Twitter. So 3 Twitter accounts. All at the same time, live. And I have exactly 3. And this is not white power. This is 3 or okay. It's not the stop it. We have 3 viewers. And then I'm on DLive and Twitch and YouTube on a couple different channels. And I am so insignificant that no one has made a comment. And I have 3 viewers, so thank you for allowing me to self-deprecate because I think that's so hot. And we do have Dale Johnson on YouTube commented, tell Claus he will fix the time thing. So before you came in, AJ, we talked about we need to do away with Eastern Standard Daylight's savings time. Period. This is causing my brethren in North America significant trauma, okay? When you make it dark in December at 4:30 instead of 5:30, you mess with people's mental health. They leave in the dark for work, they come home in the dark, and they have no light time, personal time. It sucks. And it even sucks for me in the Dominican Republic because for half the year, I have to think that because Dominican doesn't subscribe to this, thank you, God. We don't change our clocks. And Saskatchewan in Canada doesn't change their clocks, and I'm sure there's states in the Union that don't change their clocks, but this changing your clocks thing sucks. And I told Max Bernier when he was on with me live the other day, I go, dude, if you put that you're going to abolish Eastern Daylight Savings Time, you'll win the election. It was a joke. I mean, you guys didn't find it funny. Is it a good time to say goodbye?
All right.
I don't know. I'm asking you. Yeah.
Listen, I'm having a great time with friends, so I'm good. But it is factual. My family is traveling this week, so yes, guys, I've been ripping and running, going around town and grabbing some of these natural products to see if I could bring back for some of my friends who find themselves to be very jealous of me being here on the islands and enjoying this beautiful weather. So, no, guys, like I said before, I love the opportunity, Clayton, for being a part of the team. Just the potential, the growth, and I'm learning every single day. I mean, when I come to the meetings, it's paying attention, it's folder open, it's putting notes. I'm learning from Jim, learning from you, Clayton. I'm learning from Elena. I mean, we have some members we haven't heard from. I guess they're making some major moves, but I learn every day, and I feel the future is bright for sure. I mean, for Viva, for myself as well.
Yeah, now I think we're gonna rock and roll.
All right. So if you're a salesman like I am, I'm just going to tell you. The split's 80-20, okay? So tell me another brokerage on the North Coast that's got a better split with a full office and backup and training and broker that's Clayton Gush. I mean, he owns 150, everything groups on Facebook. He's the mayor of the North Coast. Everyone loves the guy. How can you not have respect for a guy that no one's got any shit to talk about? Like, no one says, oh, Clayton, yeah, fuck that guy. Nobody does.
I think there's three, maybe.
Yeah, from San Francisco, maybe.
Check this out, Jim. Look what I created for us. Look at that, man. Look at that handsome fella there.
I could pull that out, probably. What's that?
Let's see it again.
Oh, check it out.
Oh, hang on.
So we got to make it official, man. This is just a trial right now. When we make, it's going to be official. Right there,
that picture was taken of me by Mike Farkas. When I
how long ago?
Oh, I don't know, because I should know. I'm going to go with it's old. Let's say 2016. It's old. Okay? So we'll go with that. Get this. I got a podcast host. I use Acast. And Acast sent me a message the other day that my profile picture violated copyright standards and somebody was claiming it. Like, I own this pic. This is mine. Mike gave it to me. So they made me dig up my old boy Mike Farkas from Niagara. G3, what up, yo? And he's like, yeah, that's my picture. I took it. And I guess the guy didn't go through with it, because if he had filed a legal complaint or whatever, we would end up in court. But they released the claim. But I had to go back and source the year of that photo. But, yeah, I like it. When you sent that to me, you sent me the one of the picture with the beach in the background. I'm like, dude, look at me overdressed. And, I'm all about, dude, I show up in an Armani 3-piece with no tie and a pimp fucking shirt underneath. I'm down. Gucci, slippers, whatever. I'm not a no socks guy. I gotta have socks. And they gotta be fucking brilliant. A girl I knew down here looked at my socks one day and she says, I go, wait, you don't like? No, she's laughing at me. I go, what? These socks are pimp. You're a child, she says. She was a local girl. I'm like, a child? Yeah, that's for kids. I said, well, that's for pimps, baby. Anyways. I should get out of here. Eh? Is that where we end up?
You got it down back, Jim. Got it down back. I'm a
Anyways,
guy that wears a hat, so I know.
Clayton,
I know the game.
thanks for getting
I'm in
out
the
of
game,
bed.
Jim. I'm in the game. I'm just not gonna spit it on live. So it's all good.
Attaboy. We'll have you on again. We're gonna start doing this every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Right, AJ, or no?
Well, I think we should I think we should continue it, but I think the following week, if someone could pick up for me, that would be awesome. Because I'm traveling tomorrow with the family, and I'm celebrating.
No,
my
next
son's
Tuesday.
birthday. Yeah, Tuesday. Yeah, I will be in Miami. You know, I'll be in Miami. So I think we should still all do it. I want to commit and say yes, only because once I step foot on that side of town, I'm basically, you know, I'm in a new orbit.
Dude, you can bring whoever you want in and eject anytime you want.
Yeah. Okay.
So
we'll definitely be there. Clayton, I hope you're there too. I mean,
I didn't invite Clayton.
Oh, listen, and Clayton invited himself. Him and Dibs.
What up, Dibby?
Yeah. That's the man of the hour right there.
Dibs, what's that?
All we can see is his hat. Oh, there he is. Hi, big boy.
Yeah, he's been
Hi,
hanging.
Dibs.
So.
He doesn't mind me anymore, but I'm white, so he's fine with me.
No, he's, I don't know what his deal is.
dog.
Actually, no, it's like you know, blondes like girls. He has an issue. I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's not just the white thing.
No,
he's
just
first. He's a white man thing. That guy. He doesn't care if you're a white girl.
But seriously, Dibs is cool with everybody.
He's not.
When he initially
he's not.
Correction. When he first meets you, he wants to make sure you're friendly, right?
The first 60 times he meets you, okay? Like, but I'm a white man.
He's got a short memory. So, but yeah, no, he's just he's running security. So
he's good at that, no doubt.
Yeah.
All right.
All
Peace
right,
out,
guys.
boys. Love you. Thanks for doing this, and we'll see you tomorrow. Not here,
Okay.
but everywhere else.
See you down at the plant.
Ciao.
Sam.
Hi, guys. All right.
What was it?
See ya.
Sam and in the cartoons there to punch the clock? Hey, Sam. It's the rooster and the what? The cat.
Oh, and he's a dog. No, he's a sheepdog.
Oh yeah. Well, Morning, Sam. What was the other?
Oh yeah.
Foghorn Leghorn.
Yeah, Foghorn Leghorn. No, yeah, rooster and he's like a sheepdog or I don't. Yeah, it's Looney Tunes. I can't remember who it was.
You're no help to me at all. Thanks for getting out of bed, brother. Sorry about the short notice, Sherlock.
Right. No, it's fun.
All right.
So,
talk to you soon, bro.
All right.
See you tomorrow.
Okay. Ciao, guys. Bye-bye.
No, you're still there. Andy Jean's still there. Oh, now Andy Jean's gone, and you get the full Jim Fannin. Sorry about this. Hi. I don't come on the camera ever, but I don't put myself on the camera very often either. Well, that did not suck. I said I would give you an update on my medical procedures today, but that's not going to happen. How long ago was this sent? Shit, my eyes are failing. Bad. Damn, 6:57. 8:57. All right, I'm here. I'll meet you out front. All right, so that was Clayton Gush. He runs everything on Facebook. So if you search everything Sasua, everything cabaret, everything kite surfing, everything theater, everything dining, everything photography, everything animals, everything related to Dominican Republic, Clayton is your guy. He's the administrator. He's got probably 150 groups. The dude, I mean, I can't say enough about him. Pour accolades on him when he's not here, but everyone loves the guy, and he's got your best interests at heart. He's got a nice little brokerage going. I may or may not be a part of it, depending on whether or not it helps him grow. If it helps him grow, then I'm gone. I'll go away. I don't know why this is ringing. I'm kidding. Anyways, I appreciate Clayton coming in today. VivaDominican.com is the website. Andy G's links are in the show description. And I don't know, should we show you something on the way out? No. Probably want to go up. On the way out, you probably just want to look at me, right? In my red shirt. No. How about a little bit of music? A little bit of music. How about a little bit of want some? Yeah? I don't know. Chuck.
Good night now.